we are back with another For Real-Isode. We still need a jingle. We need something fun. Maybe Jeremy's came up with one by the time we air this, so I shouldn't speak to that. But back to For Real-Isodes. We just went through our list of episodes or conversations, topics to cover. You selected one for us. Do you wanna go tell us what that is?
Yeah, for sure. There will be no oyster sauce in this conversation for those who listened to our previous episode. So I feel like I'm being unfair, but I'm picking ones that I think I could guess your answer to, knowing you pretty well. This one is, if you could choose a celebrity to be your best friend, who would you choose? So can I take a crack at yours?
Okay, just give me 10 seconds to think about who I would say, so that then I'm not like, oh yeah, that would be.
7, 6.
Oh, pressure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I got 2. So, yeah.
This one is one I feel like you would have said maybe a couple years ago, but maybe not so much recently. So I was going to pick either Ellen or Leonardo DiCaprio. Am I on either of those?
See, Leonardo DiCaprio would be if I could be married to a celebrity, who would it be? But I'm too old for him, so I have to let that go.
Double, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I would be best friends with him if I could. Ellen, I think you're right, would have been an answer a few years ago. But I think most people listening to this can probably guess who I talk about all the time, and it would be Brene Brown for me.
Oh, really?
Does she count as a celebrity?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's anyone that sort of is a household name. Like everyone knows who she is.
Okay. And if not, I think I'd go for Jane Fonda, which is probably not one you expected.
Jane Fonda. I never would have. Sorry, I don't know what you saw. I never would have guessed that in a million years. Like today, Jane Fonda, like at 77 years old. Jane Fonda?
Yes, 77-year-old Jane Fonda.
You could use a celebrity grandparent.
No, she really cares environmentally. She speaks up on a lot of topics. You obviously haven't seen, I saw a video of her talking about pursuing friends lately, and my heart just melted, because she does exactly the same thing as what I do. And which you know that I do.
Chase people down and force them to be her friend.
She does. No, that's exactly it. You're just proving my point, because I was saying that I pursue people. You've just proven evidence.
I literally know, for people who don't know this, Tina has quite literally chased people down and forced them to be her friend. Like on trails, she'd be like, wait, stop. I'd like to be your friend. Just like a kindergartner. It's unbelievable.
I know it is. And then she became your friend, Maggie.
Yeah.
We love Maggie. Yeah. And Maggie came to an event of mine last year towards the end of the year, and I just began crying because I was so excited to see her. So yes, I do that, but Jane Fonda does that, and she talked about that. I will send you the video afterwards, because you're going to laugh. And actually, I got sent it by the latest person I pursued, who is my daughter's hair stylist, hair cutter.
Voice.
With the amazing voice, yes. Tim.
That's awesome. Yes. Yeah, so, 2 picks I never would have.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can guess for a second here for you.
I've thought of one. I think I've got one. Also, that sound, by the way, was my desk falling apart. My desk just randomly fell off. This desk is 100 years old, to be fair, but still.
I'm having a hard time thinking about this. I'm starting to sweat because I feel like I'm under pressure. So I might just.
Well, to be fair, the person I just thought of, I would say he's not quite A-list. I think there's plenty of people who don't know who he is. I think you will know who he is.
Okay.
So he is. I'm going to give you a hint. So he is a comedian, but he's not like any comedian I've ever seen before. He has a special brand of self-awareness that I think is just he's one of those people that I'm just fascinated by the way his brain works, and he's about our age.
Oh, I don't know if I know many comedians about our age. Will I know this person?
I think maybe. So have you heard of Bo Burnham?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so he's that's his name. So he's he's
Bo Burnham.
He's been performing at a high level since he was 16. But he did this special during the pandemic, and he literally titled it Inside, and he stayed, and I don't know if he did it for real. You never really quite know. Even with celebrities, picking a best friend is they're still a character. Even when you see like interviews of them or whatever, it's never quite them. You never really know them. So to choose someone who's like, oh, like Jennifer Lawrence seems super fun, or like, oh, Amy Schumer's really funny. It's like, they're probably not like that all the time. So I picked someone like Bo Burnham, someone who I just want to kind of crack their head open and see what makes them tick. Because someone like that, it's almost like I've read books. Have you ever read a book that you're like, this book was so amazing, so brilliant, so devastating that I'm so glad I read it, but I could never open it again. Like his special during the pandemic was like that. So he just called it Inside. And he stayed inside this one room for a year. And you see like his hair change. The vast majority of the time he's in his underwear. And it's just sort of the nuts and bolts of like what the pandemic was like for someone like him who was filming a special. I can't even begin to describe it, but it was so like, it was so painful to watch. Like there was one scene where he just has his iPhone. It's in the middle of the night and the clock ticks over to midnight and he turned 30 years old. And he's just like in his underwear with his iPhone singing like, I'm turning 30. And it was like the most uncomfortable. Like you almost couldn't watch it. I got done and I was like, I'm so glad I saw that. It was so brilliant and I could never watch it again because it just it's so hard. So yeah, so you send me the Jane Fonda video and I'm going to send you some clips from that special because it
Burnham.
blew my mind. Bo Burnham, yeah, he's amazing.
Okay, all right, good answer. And yes, I want to see that. And then you reminded me that Trevor Noah would probably be a pretty good best friend as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that I feel like. Have you ever met? What is like the most famous person that you've met?
I mean, I think I told you this. I technically met Orlando Bloom for like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, and I hate you for it. My son is like from age 12 to 17. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Brian, remember?
Yeah, in the Lexington airport, right?
Yeah. So no, I think probably Orlando. Technically, I'd say Malcolm got to know. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever met anyone like super famous. We went to like the Jimmy Fallon like shows, like in person in the same room. Also, I weirdly have been in the same room with Meghan Markle. Like after I ran, I think I was like second American at Boston or something. Reebok flew me up to their headquarters because they were filming a commercial and Meghan Markle was there. Like it was a bunch of like women in sport and women in like influential positions. And I remember like she was sitting in the room and I was just like, she's the most it was like looking at the sun. It's like she was beautiful. I don't even think she was wearing makeup. She was like uncomfortably good looking to the point that like
where was she in this? Was she married to Harry or dating Harry or anything? She was just Meghan Markle at the point.
So it would have been 2017 or 18. So it was before she blew up and like got really, really, really big. I'd say it was probably a year or two before she became like Meghan Markle. She looked just as beautiful. She still looked like a princess.
Well, I don't know if you've listened to her podcast. So good, by the way. Really, really good. There's like 12 episodes, just smashing archetypes that are around women. Like it was so good. So good. But she talked about how she was the ugly duckling growing up. And you listen to it and you're like, I just no. Like our version of not buying that for a second.
My version of ugly duckling is when I posed for my school picture wearing a jean jacket over jean pants, holding my trombone, my hair was slicked back, I had braces and cold sores surrounding my mouth. Like my trombone mouthpiece and spread my goals. That is my version of an ugly duckling. And I guarantee you, Meghan Markle has never been in that situation. Ever. Yeah. I mean, I love the podcast, but yeah, whenever she said that, I'm like, I mean, it's hard to believe. You had a pimple once. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Anything else you want to add about being best friends with a celebrity? I think that'll do it. Other than Tina Muir, she's pretty cool. I know. And the same with Sarah Crouch. Yes. All right. Thank you, friend. We will see you guys next week. Be sure to give us your answers. If you have someone in mind, you can share on social media. And who have you been in a room with? That's famous. Who have you been in a room with? That's a good one. Yeah. If someone tells me they've been in a room with Leonardo DiCaprio, we are no longer friends because I've been declaring my love for years. All right, Sarah, thank you so much.